So, you want to be an artist, but you want to make a living. If that sounds like an oxymoron to you, you've come to the right place because I'm going to prove you wrong. Hi, I'm Courtney. This is my channel about art, travel, a bunch of things, but today we're going to be talking about all of the different jobs that you can get in the arts. I made a video about 2 weeks ago called Why You Should Become an Artist. If you haven't watched it, I would recommend seeing it. The algorithm kind of picked it up, which that's the first time something like that has happened to me as a small YouTuber, so I was super excited about that. But it seems like that video helped a lot of people, and a lot of people wanted to know more about how to make it as an artist. And as myself, I am deciding to provide you guys with those resources. Today, we're going to be discussing 15 different jobs that you can get as an artist or in the art field. Keep in mind that this video will mostly be encompassing the visual arts since that is what I have the most expertise in, but there are certainly jobs available in the literary arts and music as well. Now, as for art careers, I think that they fall under 5 main distinctions. You have the digital sphere, the design sphere, the photography sphere, the fine arts sphere, and the fashion sphere. Sphere does not even feel like a word anymore. Under each of these disciplines, I'm going to talk about 2 jobs that you can get with a degree or jobs that people normally hire you into, and then 1 job that you can do freelance. If you feel like this video is going to help you, I would really appreciate a like and a subscribe. I am a young artist as well, trying to get by and making my dream a reality. A few quick disclaimers here. I'm showing the average salary of all of these jobs. So I tried to find the average salary for all of the United States for each individual career, but if I couldn't find that, I found the average for my state, which is North Carolina. Also, you can definitely be making a lot more or a lot less with any of these careers. So keep that in mind as you think of which one you'd like to pursue. So, thanks for the support, and we're going to get on to our first discipline. So, the digital factor of this kind of encompasses a lot of new age, new media type things. It can span from anything from computers to phones to video games and more. I assume that this realm is only going to grow bigger in the next few years because the digital space of art just continues to rapidly exceed our expectations of growth every single quarter. And especially with AI art coming onto the scene, I don't think that that's something that we need to be scared of as much as know that it will be used as a tool eventually once the initial hype dies down. And there may even be jobs for you in AI art in the future in the digital sphere, so definitely something to watch out for. The 3 jobs I have today, though, are more traditional ways of looking at the digital art sphere, which is funny to say traditional because most of these jobs have not existed for the past 15 years, but here we are. So the first job that you can get is being an animator. You will need a degree for this job, probably a bachelor's degree in animation. There are a lot of colleges which offer degrees in animation, but colleges that may not offer degrees in animation might also offer similar studies in majors like digital studies, new media, etc. So there are a lot of companies that need animators. You can be a 2D animator, which is the more traditional way of animation, or a 3D animator, which is definitely picking up these days. Animators often go on to companies like Disney to create movies, television shows, etc. You can even be working in video games with this career. So the next career in digital art kind of goes hand in hand with that. It's a concept artist. So to get things from the starting block to the big screen, there's going to be a couple in between phases. As a concept artist, you're going to be responsible for sketching out character designs, maybe making up new environments. I find that this term is normally used for video games, but concept artists definitely also exist in TV shows, movies, and you're just responsible for sort of sketching out what others are going to bring to life. In this career, a degree is preferred, normally in some sort of arts, maybe digital design, digital art, but it's not always entirely necessary, so just think about what kind of job you want. Obviously, jobs at bigger companies like Disney are going to be more competitive and probably will require a degree, but a job at a small startup company may not. Final career choice I'm presenting to you today in the digital realm is a freelance digital artist. This name can accompany a number of different job descriptions, so you could be a freelance animator or concept artist, as I've already said, or you can work in other spheres like digital content creation, as I'm doing right now. There's a lot of platforms you can do content creation on, like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, etc. And then as for freelancing, platforms like Upwork normally have people looking for jobs that you can apply to and kind of make your living off of that instead. While a degree may help you out here, it's definitely not required at all. I have no degree. I'm currently going to college in the fall, but I have already started my content creation journey. It's a great option for anybody who maybe can't afford a degree at the moment or doesn't want to get one. The next field of artwork that I have to present to you is the design field, and as long as humans are alive, we will always need friendly designs, human-centric interfaces, and there will be a job for you. The first job in this field is a graphic designer. Now, if you're working as a graphic designer for a company, you probably will need a degree in graphic design, and your responsibilities can be anything from creating attractive web pages to creating appealing advertisements and so forth. As a designer, you're really trying to get into the mind of like what people think and what attracts them to a certain product or a certain look. Like, you know, McDonald's is red and yellow because a lot of people say that those are the colors that, one, catch your attention, but also for some reason make you hungry. I don't know. There's a lot more to graphic design than what's just surface level, so it's a really interesting job to explore. And kind of going hand in hand with graphic design, the next job that you can get as a designer is an industrial designer. When you're an industrial designer, your job will be in particular product design. So let's take, for example, little boingy creature I got from Denmark. Somebody had to sketch this out. Somebody had to devise how the spring inside of him would work, decide what materials he would be made of, all of that before they decided to actually create him. Now, of course, that's kind of a simple example, but industrial designers can work in everything from simple knickknacks to extremely advanced technology. As an industrial designer, you can expect to both make 2D sketches and work in 3D or CAD software to kind of model the products that you're creating. Here, a degree is pretty much required because there's a lot that you have to learn that could be difficult to learn on your own, so companies prefer that you have education behind you. You can get this degree in graphic design or industrial design if it is offered. Industrial design as a degree is definitely more focused on what you actually want to do. And of course, the final thing that you can do as a designer, you can totally freelance it. Similar to the digital sphere, because the design field and the digital field are pretty much buddies, you can go on websites like Upwork and advertise yourself as a freelance designer. You can kind of have like a one-off relationship with some companies where you'll create a product for them, and if they like it enough, they'll come back to work with you again, you know, that sort of freelance relationship. Or as a designer, you can even design your own products and sell them. I know a lot of freelance graphic designers create like posters, things like that to kind of sell as prints, which I think is really exciting, really awesome. So yeah, you definitely don't have to have a degree to be a designer, but you can take the path either way. The next sphere is photography. Photography is one of those things which is really interesting because you don't really need to have a degree as strongly as a lot of these other fields. Photography is a skill that you definitely can learn on your own, but you can also get a degree in like arts with a concentration in photography, or some colleges will just like offer like a full degree in photography if that's what you feel will work best for you. So the first job that you can get as a photographer is an advertising photographer. You don't normally need a degree to break into this, just a pretty strong portfolio. But you know, when fast food companies are advertising their food to you and they have like these beautiful dewy burgers and like things like that, or whenever, you know, you're trying to buy that new skincare product and it has it like pouring all over a counter and somebody like rubbing it in and putting it on their face and stuff, somebody has to take those videos, somebody has to take those photos, and to make them appealing to the human eye to make you say, okay, yes, I do want that product. That's where an advertising photographer will come in, and as long as you can build up a strong portfolio, like I said, degree is not totally necessary, but it could only help. Like, someone's got to make this bottle of water look appealing on the packaging, or like take nice pictures of it to make me want to buy it, I guess. The next kind of photography is actually super exciting. You can be a nature photographer. You've probably seen this field of work if you've ever opened a National Geographic book or watched a documentary. Basically, you don't necessarily need a degree to break into this industry. Again, a portfolio is nice, but one of the big things that getting a degree for this would do for you is get you connections. If you want to kind of be like a documentary style nature photographer where you're going out to other continents, taking pictures of animals, you know, for people who are writing stories on them, etc., connections could only help you. If you kind of want to just be like a more casual nature photographer, maybe do it for your own pleasure or for clients, that is where we go into our next topic, which is being a freelance photographer, having your own photography business. I have a friend who does this and she is really good. Yeah, like her photography is awesome. Go follow her on Instagram. You can create your own photography business, and then people will request that you come photograph their wedding, their dog, their graduation, etc. As long as you know some people and can kind of create a fan base in your local community or reach out to people, this is definitely a really good side hustle to have. Obviously, you are more so limited to sort of your own area. So if you live in a city, this is definitely a great option for you. Anywhere which is more like population dense, you're going to have a lot more customers. Next category is my personal favorite, fine art. This is probably what I'm going to go into when I'm older. Either that, or if I end up enjoying the digital sphere more, we'll figure it out. This is what most people think of when you say you want to be an artist. So a lot of you probably already know what I'm about to talk about, but I'm gonna talk it anyway. Our first job is any sort of gallery management. You will need a degree to break into this, either a degree in fine art, event management, etc. And depending on what position you're going for, a lot of galleries require that you have experience with some sort of arts career in the past. So it's a great idea to get internships throughout college, or to like work with your college's art museum if they have one. And basically you can do a variety of things in this position, from handling the art to cleaning the art to organizing events for a museum or gallery, taking stock of their collection. It's really a very largely encompassing field of work, which is very rewarding because you get to be around art all day. You get to see like the works of the masters, like some of the greatest artists in history. And overall, it's just a very interesting field. You know, somebody has to be behind all of the exhibitions that you see at art museums, and that could be you. The next job is kind of unconventional, but I figured that I would throw it in here because a lot of people know about the fine arts already anyways. You can be a courtroom artist. You don't normally need a degree to break into being a courtroom artist. It just requires, you know, a strong portfolio, maybe a few connections here and there. It does appeal to a very specific subset of people who really enjoy art and also the field of law. And if that's you, that could be an amazing career to pursue. And now the job that everybody knows about, and for some reason every single relative assumes that you're instantly going into when you mention that you're going to be an artist or going to college for art.
The freelance artist.
There is definitely a lot of stigma around this job. I've talked about that in my previous videos a lot, but it's totally something you can do on your own. You can paint your own pieces, create your own pieces, sell them, create prints, like create your own art business. You need absolutely no degree for that. And overall, it's just a great path to embark down if you know what you're doing and you have kind of a business mindset where you want to expand what you're doing and sort of be your own boss. You know. And the last category of art jobs that I'm going to be discussing is fashion. So I figured I would throw this in here because I think fashion still counts as the visual arts. You're still in sort of an artsy discipline and you can see it, so it's visual arts. The first job that you can get in the field of fashion is a costume designer. Plays, movies, TV shows, and more all need to have wonderful, over-the-top, beautifully designed costumes, and you could be the person both creating them and figuring out what in the world these actors should wear. To break into this field, you normally need a degree in costuming or theater arts. Some people even pursue it to get masters, but from my research I found that a bachelor's can definitely work as well. But the biggest thing about going to college is that you'll be able to get connections for this job, and connections are extremely important when you're working in film or the whole Hollywood area, which leads me into my next piece. You can also be a style consultant for celebrities or politicians, people who need to, keep up their appearance. Even just some normal everyday people get style consultants because they feel really confused on what to wear, so that could be you. You do not need a degree to break into this. This is kind of a pretty big exception. A degree in fashion design would help you, as any degree, would not hurt. But you totally do not need a degree to start this. You can either work for an existing style consultant company or start your own freelance. And a lot of people will come to you asking, what kinds of colors they should wear, what styles they should wear, for their body type, lots of things like that. If you're somebody who has an eye for fashion, if you're somebody with a good sense of style yourself, it's definitely a career that you can pursue to help other people out, but also make money. And the last job in the fashion category, and therefore pretty much the last job of our video, is having your own fashion designing business, being a textile artist. You can use a sewing machine and create your own designs, create a business to sell them. I've seen a lot of people do that, particularly with these really adorable dresses. There's an artist on Instagram that sells them, and it's totally their own design, but it's just beautiful. Or you can be textile artists, like I mentioned, crochet, knitting. Those are really big markets these days. A lot of people buy crochet sweaters, stuffed animals, etc. And I've seen a lot of people start those types of businesses with success. Now, as we're coming to the end of this video, I would like to say that I really hope this rant helped you figure out a future career that you'd like to have, or even just let you know that having a career in the arts is certainly a feasible dream. There is nothing to be ashamed of about wanting to pursue a career in the arts. It can definitely be rewarding and lucrative, and if that's really what you want to do, then go for it. That's what I'm doing right now, and I hope that I can come back in the future with even more advice for you all when I am an accomplished artist. Again, if you like this video or it helped you, likes and subscribes are always appreciated. In the future, I'm going to have a lot of exciting content about my life in art school, all the places that I'm traveling and the art I'm making there, so you might want to stick around. So yeah, I hope you have a great day, a great life, and you keep on creating. Bye!